While I was on a break, I decided to watch the Eternals movie. I came to a conclusion of doing this video, and I will be doing a few more like Ikaris versus the top CW speedsters, like of course Barry Allen, we have Savitar, we have Zoom, we have the Reverse Flash, right? I didn't put Godspeed. I mean, there's no point. We have Doomsday versus Carnage, and this is a very funny matchup because a lot of you would be shocked about the outcome of this. And finally, we have Arishem the Judge versus Dormammu. You know, Dormammu used to be the most powerful person in the MCU, but it's going to be really shocking to see how much or how strong these Celestials really are, especially Arishem, right? But from these videos is how you would know how the other videos turn out, so you need to watch all of them. I guess that's pretty smart, right? To get my views up. Now, not to waste too much time here, let's jump right into the video, right? So, Ikaris is the strongest Celestial based on raw physical strength. He possesses the basics of flight and infinite cosmic energy given to not just him, but each of the Eternals by the Celestial Arishem the Judge. Now, Ikaris has some casual feats of taking on deviants and beating them, right? He has been challenged well by some, but never been damaged, unlike the other Eternals. And the other Eternals firmly believe that all of them put together would die trying to fight Ikaris, which is an insane feat on its own. And really, Ikaris was holding back against them and was shown that even after Fistus tried his best, Ikaris could still like, "Rah!" And yo, he escaped, right? So now I will brief up on what the other Eternals can do and how they scale to the consistency of Phase 3 Avengers and how they did against Ikaris. But yeah, Ikaris still won. If you really want to see how who would win between the Eternals and Avengers, please check out Key Issues. I know I always plug this guy. I don't know why he ignores me on Discord, but whatever. Check his videos. Yeah, he did a pretty good video on there, right? So let's start with Festus, who can invent anything, and has a mastery of tech, right? It's his passive innate ability, right? I mean, this dude was powerful enough to come up with a master plan and advanced tech in which they could use to put Tiamat to sleep, which alone shut him down, and that's easily planet level feat. And let's note that the Eternals cannot run out of energy. He has tech far greater than anything the Avengers can offer so far. He can easily create anything stronger than vibranium. No amount of fire cannon they have will come close to someone who can create tech to harvest infinite power from 8 beings capable of shutting down a newborn Celestial, who was shown to be able to easily destroy the planet when born. And that's nothing still compared to what these Celestials can casually do. So tune in for my Arishem versus Dormammu video. Then you have Ikaris, who, well, is the fastest female character in the universe, but so far from what I have seen, she hasn't actually shown feats to be even faster than Iron Man. That sounds funny, right? I will link my top strongest MCU characters video and my Darkseid versus Thanos video. The MCU as a whole scales to universal, and I can prove that infinite times over. We already have Phase 1 Thor taking on Malekith, who was using the Power Stone in a form of liquefied form. I've forgotten what it was called, to destroy the universe. The term universe in Marvel really is straightforward, but people cannot think, or they do not just understand it for some reason and ignore evidence to suit their own agenda. Now, the MCU, just like every other multiverse in the crossroads of infinity, houses infinite number of multiverses which are infinitely transcendent in size and hierarchy because they contain infinite dimensions. Now, people will want to say things like, oh, prove that these infinite dimensions have space and time. Bro, everything within the universe is created from matter, and then for the mere fact that the Infinity Stones are linked to everything, the multiverse shows that everything is its own space-time continuum, right? They have realms, realities, you have special types of dimensions, and then what you have infinite spatial and temporal dimensions. And to even top it up, the multiverse is shown to be the construct of the Yggdrasil, in which Midgard is basically where all this nonsense is happening. You still have the other 9 realms which are infinite in size, and Asgard is its own infinite universe, transcendental of dimensions. Midgard and its own contains infinite dimensions, and the God realms are beyond dimensions. which is actually shown, and Malekith was actually going to collapse an infinite dimensional realm with the Power Stone faster than he would have done by just falling on it. LOL. Actually, he was going to collapse the multiverse on itself, but DC fans who are always emotional and full of estrogens aren't ready for this. And even some ignorant Marvel fans, or maybe I am the ignorant one, but taking consistent feats/statements which are lore-based to literal. But I guess that's how it should be taken, since it is consistent. Now, you can easily argue Thor from part 1 is out of Verso, but that's only when he's in these mythical realms beyond dimensions. When using Bifrost, which moves at irrelevant speeds, and they diminish in size to do this, but Thor still managed to overpower the Power Stone. Now, with such, Makari wouldn't come close at all, the slightest, from what we just saw at face value. But she is an Eternal and has infinite cosmic energy. So it would be validated through these statements from Marvel Studios itself that she is indeed the fastest. Just the same way Ikaris is the strongest and Athena is the most skilled. Now, as for the rest of the Eternals, apart from Gilgamesh and Athena, no one else is a power hitter. I mean, Gilgamesh used to play with Kid Thor, and he stated that Odin says he hits like an Asgardian, honoring his strength. Now, out of all these I mentioned, Thor, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, and Thanos are the best arguments. Oh yeah, and Doctor Strange to use to scale the Eternals, as they aren't allowed to even really go all out or interfere with anything humans do or the multiverse, except beat the Deviants, who aren't weak the slightest, because these Deviants were like the first Eternals for that matter. Just that they don't have infinite power like the Eternals, but they have infinite potential, which comes with evolution as they evolve over and over. What's impressive is that they evolve to become so strong that they don't die after every incursion, to the point Arishem couldn't even control them anymore. And yes, they became so strong that the likes of Ikaris can get tossed around by them, but they actually ever cause any damage to him. So they don't scale to him, but relative. Each deviant is actually bare minimum planet level, and this is a massive low ball. We have seen too many planet level to star level feats and far more in the MCU. At this point, it's a joke. Ikaris is stronger than all of them, that only him beat deviants that have evolved for millions of years and keep getting stronger, and they should each be far beyond planet level of power in terms of AP and durability, but not destructive capabilities. Now, Ikaris scales far above these. He actually broke Festus' table, saying it would be made out of vibranium. The strongest metal in Marvel is vibranium, amped with mystical power or some advanced tech not from Earth mixed with vibranium is capable of tanking casual star level attacks to multiversal attacks, and Festus protected his house with something that Ikaris couldn't damage, and Ikaris sure was strong and certain enough he will damage any tech with his bare hands. Ikaris has shown to react to Makari and other Eternals at once. Ikaris flew to the sun in few seconds, which is FTL plus, easily, and also he is assumed faster than the entire Avengers. They were asked why they didn't intervene in Thanos' plan, and it's not like they couldn't or Ikaris won't beat him to pulp, but the Celestials wouldn't agree. Now, in the Loki show, we saw that there are many Infinity Stones for each universe in Midgard, but the main Infinity Stones is what Thanos went for. And yes, even in the comics, there are the main Infinity Stones as well. So Ikaris scales bare minimum to large planet level in terms of AP and skill from FTL plus to MFTL plus. Now, as for Omni Man, his feats are a lot more direct to mention and explain how strong he is. Together with others, he manages to bust the planet Viltrum apart. He briefly overpowers two Viltrumites in a fight, smashing through stones, cracking their heads together, and tossing them a distance away. He batters one Viltrumite into submission and then another, before being overcome by a third he thought he beat earlier that collapsed immediately after incapacitating Omni Man. Exchanges blows with Viltrumite and kept going for more Viltrumites. And Mark does think that other Viltrumites could be as strong as Omni Man, which isn't wrong as they are relative because they got rid of the weak members of their race, as shown that other Viltrumites indeed can damage Omni Man. As for durability, he is said to have exceptional recuperative powers, endurance, resistance to most conventional forms of injury, inexhaustible stamina, accelerated recovery rate, skin which can withstand a range from 6,000 to -175 Fahrenheit and can survive space vacuum and ocean depths up to 2 weeks. 2 weeks limit, he can hold his breath. Takes a headbutt to the face from Conquest and keeps fighting other Viltrumites soon after. He shrugs off heat from one Viltrumite to overpower. Still considered to be at full power even when bruised and bloody. His endurance is ultimately getting overpowered and disemboweled when Thrag punches his hand through Omni Man's torso, leaving him alive and recovered after 2 weeks in a medical facility. His endurance is so good that he fought a one-man war against a civilization for a year, ultimately reducing it to shambles. Now, as for speed, he's said to fly at speeds rivaling starships, possibly allowing him to use an inertial flight like teleportation and travel well above velocity of light. Charges space racer before he can shoot and escapes the chain reaction of an asteroid belt colliding with itself. This is someone who can cross galaxies in the blink of an eye. He could fly out of the solar system in a week, which is billions of times faster than the speed of light. Noted to be one of the most powerful Viltrumites. Now, so far as you can see that the Viltrumites are really powerful with insane level of endurance. Now, each Viltrumite is relative to each other for some reason. The Viltrumite planet destruction is calculated at large planet level, and these guys had already been fighting far before then. So it is safe to say that for a planet to host a lot of people in which scale to other members of that planet, which can be scaled to large planets, would be roughly getting a lot of the Viltrumites from moon level to small planet level and even planet level. And they scale easily to billions of times faster than light. And Omni Man is one of their strongest, to the point you need the entire planet to fight him, including the likes of Thrag, who impales him easily, showing clear dominance. Now, the scaling of these characters can easily escalate when you realize that omnipotence is easily planet level and over time can destroy an entire universe through chain reaction, which even if it takes 1,000 years would still be impressive and would require so much speed it isn't even funny. This would scale Mark far above that, as Dinosaurus could one-shot this same person quite easily, and Mark earlier on scales above Dino, making post-Mark war easily universal, as one version of him says he beat Spawn, and that's a whole different topic for another day. So Omni Man scales above Mark, and relative to Mark later during the Viltrumite war, so Omni Man would have a scaling of large planet level to universal and MFTL plus. Now, who wins between Ikaris and Omni Man? Going with the easy feats, both these characters casually are easily large planet level and FTL plus. Same thing with taking them higher. Both would be universal, but Ikaris can be easily scaled far beyond just universal for obvious reasons I explained earlier. Now, it falls down to durability and hacks. Now, Ikaris is nearly invulnerable, unlike Omni Man, who has smart items that makes him have high endurance and resistance to damage and quick healing factor over time. But Ikaris can shoot not just lasers but cosmic energy from his eyes, which are relatively planet level, talk less of brute strength. Ikaris is a lot smarter and experienced than Omni Man. Ikaris can go into the sun and easily survive it. Meanwhile, it didn't speak too well for Thrag and Invincible. Ikaris has a lot more things on his side, not just experience, hacks, intelligence, stamina, because he has infinite energy. It's just any energy, but it isn't just any energy but cosmic energy, and seems more durable than his strength. Ikaris wins mid difficulty, but if you want to go with a quote-unquote highball, he one-shots terribly. If you found this video informative, please do to like, share, comment, and wait for the upcoming videos. You must have seen all of them are premiered, so well, just wait for it to drop.